Hi guys, I'm Kasha. Welcome to the channel and welcome as always to our coffee times. And today I have for you a book haul because we all know that I have zero self-control.
It's coffee time.
So we're here to discuss me moving into the new house, getting all of these nice shelves and going a little bit crazy buying books. It's okay, it's fine. I did unhaul a lot of books in December before moving. I got rid of a lot of books that I donated and stuff, so I felt like it was okay for me to buy some new books for the new shelves. And these are books, like I've mentioned before, a little bit more towards my goal of creating a nice, library of horror books that go from middle grade to adult. I have a total of 27 plus one book box, and yeah, I'm really excited to share with you the things that I bought. A lot of it is middle grade because I felt like I didn't have enough middle grade horror. The next is probably going to be a lot of YA, hopefully, because I also feel like I need to expand in that section of my collection. So yeah, but there's a little bit of everything, so let's just dive into it. So today I do have two books that are non-horror, so I'm going to show you those first. The first one is a book that I saw on Bookstagram, and when I saw the cover, I saw the title, I'm like, yes, I'm buying this, and it was an automatic purchase. And that is The Cat Who Saved Books by Sosuke Natsukawa. It's supposed to be, for lovers of cats and books, and I'm like, yes. So it just ticked all my boxes. So in this book we follow a high schooler, and I believe his father or grandfather's bookstore has to close because they are not making enough money, and then a cat suddenly appears to try to help him save books, something like that. I'm not really sure, but it's cats, it's books, and it was kind of short, so I was like, I'm gonna give it a go. Plus, I mean, look at this cover, you guys. Why is he so cute? I just needed this. And the other one that it's not horror is actually a sequel, and it's contemporary rom-com, and that is Here's to Us by Adam Silvera and Becky Albertalli. I read What If It's Us, and I really enjoy it. It is about these two guys that have a meet cute moment at a post office and are a little bit unsure if they should be dating, going out, and they start going on of all of the what ifs. And I really enjoyed it. I know it was not for everybody. It does have a lot of Harry Potter references that I was there for. But yeah, for the moments where I need a meet cute romance, I feel like this one is gonna be the ones that I'm gonna pick. I don't buy many physical books that are romance, but since I do have the first one and I did enjoy it, I felt confident purchasing it. But mostly my romance books, I rather get them on my Kindle, because most of them I never reread them. Let's start with the horror, shall we? But we're gonna start slow. We're gonna start first with our middle grade, because I have here a wide selection of middle grade books that I have picked up. It's mostly from series, but the first one is Midnight at the Barclay Hotel by Fleur Bradley, and this follows J.J. Jacobson that convinces the mother to accept something that they want. They basically want a trip to this luxurious hotel, everything paid. Sounds too good to be true. And when they get to the hotel, there is a murder that happened and an investigation going on. So that's all I know, but I'm really excited because, like I said, I want to read more middle grade this year. Spooky middle grade. I feel like sometimes I just need something light, something fast-paced, and these books really help me. Next I have Frightville Volume 3, The Haunted Key, and Volume 4, Night of the Mask. I do own the first two volumes, and I just wanted to continue getting the series for the collection. So the Frightville series, something that I really like about it is that they're all based on this town where there is a very specific store where you can find magical things and unexpected objects, and all of the books have a character going into the shop and buying something there that seems to have powers or seems to be hunted, and I really like that. It's kind of consistency, in the series. So this one, obviously, it's about a key that is purchased at the store, and this key is supposed to open every door, and our main character decides to use it on the attic door. Night of the Mask follows Ben that is desperate to get a costume since he has been invited to a birthday party where costumes are mandatory. So from the store he gets a mask that he thinks it's perfect for his costume, but what the mask does is it gives him the ability to see monsters and things lurking around him. Then I got Darren Shawn Sons of Destiny volume 12, and this is a repurchase. I already own the book, but it was not in the edition that I wanted, and I've been trying to collect these editions. You know, they all form a word with the spine, and some of the editions that I have are not the correct one, so I'm trying to fix it. I don't know if you can see it here, but they're here in the background, and basically number 12, which I'm gonna replace now, looks like this, and it doesn't have the letter on the spine. So I'm trying to repurchase the books in this edition so that I can have the nice spine that spells Cirque du Freak. So that is, you know, my intention, but these ones are so hard to find, and this is also not 100% like the other ones that I have. The other ones are shiny and this one is not, but at least it has the letter. So at least I can complete the word at some point, hopefully. Then surprisingly enough, I found some books on Amazon here in the Netherlands that were really cheap, and they're part of a middle grade spooky horror series that has also different series 1, 2 and 3, I think even 4. So I'm just trying to collect the ones that I see and add them to the collection because I think the covers are super cool. These are a reprint. They don't look like the original covers, I believe, but I don't mind because I really love these ones. Anyways, the series is called Creepers by Edgar J. Hyde, and I managed to get 4 of the books, and I'm trying to get the other ones, so you might see them in future book hauls. The first one is called Cold Kisser, and it's about a guy that ends up kissing the new girl at school that everybody wants to get, and her kiss is really cold. We have Stage Fright, in which a play at school turns a little bit deadly when the witches from the play might be more alive than we thought. Next we have a scarecrow. I don't think this needs much explanation. It is about a scarecrow that is new to this farm, and apparently he's not only scaring the crows. And The Golden Goblet. I absolutely love this cover so much, and all I know is that it has something to do with this goblet that has special powers. I just love these skeletons so much. I have never read Creepers. I've never seen them anywhere. So this is a new series discovery thing for me, and I'm really excited. I have read that they combine spookiness with something kind of like a goofy type of humor, so I'm really curious. So I will be definitely reading this one soon. I might even do a reading vlog where I read a bunch of these and let you guys know the feeling that I have with the books, with the series, and you know, how scary they are or not. So you can guys have an idea. And I'm also trying to complete the Creep Over series, so I managed to get my hands on volume 12 and 21. So volume 12 is called What a Doll, and it's about these 2 girls that were besties, and then they have a fight or something and they're mad at each other, and one of them has a really creepy doll with special powers. So I'm already sold because I love creepy dolls. And then we have volume 21 that is called Don't Move a Muscle. This one follows Cora that is desperate for a date to prom, and she ends up choosing the new guy that is supposed to be really creepy and nobody wants anything to do with him. Even her friends tell her not to, but she just likes him too much. The next purchase, I'm totally gonna blame it on Cameron from Library Macabre, because I saw him talking about this book series in one of his videos and I bought the entire series. That's what happens, okay? That's what happens. It's 13 books. It's called Scream Street. Honestly, it was a steal because I think I only paid 30, I think, for the whole 13 books, and it came in this beautiful box. All the spines, you know, match. It's just OCD proof for me. And this is by Tommy Donbavand. I believe there is a TV show as well that I have not watched, but I'm really curious about the series, also something that I have never read. And if I understand correctly, it is about a boy that has the werewolf gene, and he's taken by the GOAL, which is the Government Housing of Unusual Life Forms. And he's been put in Scream Street, where he meets other types of creatures like vampires and stuff, and I'm just super excited. It just sounds so good. So here is volume 1, Scream Street, Fang of the Vampire. I'm not gonna show you all the different volumes because it's a lot, but I will be showing them on my Instagram when I read them, taking pictures of them because the covers are so cute. I'm not sure if I'm gonna just binge this. I think it's probably better if I just read them maybe once a month, but we shall see. I'm just really excited. Then something kind of in between middle grade and YA, we have a book that I had to pick up just based on the cover. I absolutely loved it, and that is Mine by Delilah S. Dawson. And this is about a girl that is really frustrated because her parents move her to Florida to a new house, but this new house is horrible. There is like the dog is molded and the pool is slimy and she totally hates it there, but there's something else that is in that house, and that is the spirit of the previous inhabitants. Next I have In Every Generation by Kendara Blake. I already talked about this one on my last wrap-up since I read this one in the month of January. This is a new series for YA readers inspired on Buffy the Vampire Slayer, and it is a direct sequel after the end of, you know, the TV show, and includes some of the characters that we know from the show, plus it incorporates a bunch of new interesting characters that we have to yet explore more. Even though it was not perfect, I enjoyed it, and I am definitely gonna continue the series. I think if you love Buffy the Vampire Slayer, you will appreciate a lot of things from the book. I don't know if you've never watched the show, if it's even gonna work for you, because there's a lot of references from the show and a lot of things that it's better if you are familiar with the characters. Now let's move to the adult horror. The things that I like to reach out when I just need some guts. Just kidding, kinda. But the first book is not extremely horror, it's more kind of paranormal, supernatural kind of thing. And that is Book of Life by Deborah Harkness, and this is the third book on A Discovery of Witches trilogy. I made the mistake of reading the first one a couple of years ago, absolutely loved it, and then I never picked up book 2 or 3, and now I feel like if I want to finish the trilogy, I have to reread the first book. So I'm screwed. I'm pretty sure I'm not the only one that has had this problem before, but I just want to make sure to get all of the books now, because I think there is a spin-off and there are some other things going on, so I want to collect everything so that I can read it and not having to say, oh, I have to go back to the first book now, because I just don't have time for that. Anyways, if you're not familiar with The Discovery of Witches and you like supernatural stories that involve witches and vampires, this one is definitely for you, because we follow a vampire and a witch that are forced to work together after they discover an ancient manuscript that is going to, you know, lead them to a huge investigation. And I really love the first book, so I'm really hoping that book 2 and 3 are going to be also as good. Moving on to December Park by Ronald Malfi. I've told you guys since I read Come With Me last year and I absolutely loved it. I wanted to pick up more things by the author, and I know that this one has been recommended to me before, so that was my first choice. And this is based on the 90s, and it's based on a place where children go missing, and I'm like, yes. So I'm really excited. I don't want to know too much more about it. I just want to jump into it and see if I love it or not. It's going to be hard, I feel like, because I loved Come With Me so much. I'm a little bit scared that his other works are going to disappoint me, but I am willing to dive into this one. The next book, I don't even know what it's about at this point. I'm honest. And I don't even want to look up the synopsis of this book. I just want to sit down and start reading it and see what happens. And that is The Last House on Needless Street by Catriona Ward. And I had been waiting to buy this book to get this exact cover, which was not easy. And I paid more than I should have. But I wanted the cover with the cute cat and the cute house and atmosphere. So I was looking for this edition. And I finally found it and got it. And I've seen other people already posting on Twitter how much they love this book. And I'm just here like, I need to know. I need to know. So this is probably going to be on my March TBR pile, because I just need to know. And like I said, I didn't read the synopsis. I have no idea what I'm getting myself into. So I guess we'll talk about it after I read it in March. Next, I got a book that I know is extremely popular, recommended a lot, and I was like, I need to get that book. And that is A Pen Pal by Dathan Auerbach. I believe this one started like somewhere as a little stories or something, and then it all ended up developing into a full-on novel. And it is about a man that is trying to discover his past, and he is kind of putting the pieces of the puzzle together of what happened to him when he was a kid. that is kind of what I got from the synopsis, and I'm really intrigued because I feel like this is a book that a lot of people find disturbing, so I am kind of intrigued to see what's the disturbing part about the book. And since this year, I don't know what I want to do this to myself, but I want to read some of the most disturbing books out there, or some of the books that people have found were more disturbing to them. So please do me a favor, let me know down below in the comments what is the most disturbing book you've ever read, because I'm just willing to go there and see what I think of books that people find the most disturbing. And on that note, I picked up The Girl Next Door by Jack Ketchum. This is based on a true crime story. That's why it makes this book extra disturbing and, you know, extra uncomfortable to read, I'm guessing. I did watch the movie An American Crime, which is based on the same true crime story, and it is about a girl that is basically being held hostage at the neighbor's basement and kind of tortured, which is horrible. And the movie was hard to watch, so I don't know how I'm gonna feel about the book, but I'm willing to dive into it and see what happens. Let the Old Dreams Die. And I picked this one up because, if you guys know, I really love Let the Right One In. Absolutely loved the book, absolutely loved the original adaptation of it. And someone told me in the comments, thank you so much, that there was a story, a short story, as a follow-up to the story of Oscar and Ellie, and I was like, I need to know what happened to them after that final scene, which of course I'm not gonna reveal here. But this one is a book that contains short stories, and one of them, which is the title of the book as well, is based on the characters of Let the Right One In and what happened to them after the events of that first book. So I just need to know because I think everybody felt like we needed a second big book and we didn't get it, so at least I have a short story here. Next, I have a novella that I am extremely excited to read because it is by an author that has written one of my favorite novellas, which was True Crime, but by Samantha Kolesnik, and her new novella is called Wife. And this is about a woman that supposedly has the perfect life, you know, she has a nice husband, nice house, she has money, and then one day at a grocery store she sees a man that she cannot forget about, and this kind of awakens some kind of sexuality in her that drives her to pornography and kind of back alley surgery, something like that. And I'm like, this sounds like it's gonna get really disturbing, and I'm here for it. True Crime had all the trigger warnings, it was really disturbing, but I absolutely loved that novella, so I'm really hoping that this one is also not going to disappoint. Next, I have a book that I saw Mir from Harpies in the Trees talking about, and I had to pick it up, and that is James Herbert's The Ghost of Sleth. And all that I know about this book is that it is about a psychic investigator that goes to this place that is supposed to be haunted to kind of reveal its secrets and see if there's some evil there or not. That's what I think is kind of the main plot. And this is not the edition that I wanted, but since I already got it, I'm gonna keep it, read it, and if I really love it, I'm probably donating this one and getting a nicer edition. But since I already got it here and I want to read it, I'm just gonna keep it for now. Moving on, and since I mentioned that some of these purchases are to expand my collection, you know, I just had to expand my Richard Lehman collection, so I got a bunch of his books that I needed that I still didn't have, because you guys know I really enjoy his writing, I really enjoy his books, so I just want to have all his works if possible. So the first one that I got is Among the Missing. This is about a woman that one morning leaves her husband, and she leaves him basically for another man, and she goes to meet him, but this other man has other plans, and suddenly the corpses of women start piling up. Next, we have The Traveling Vampire Show, and it is exactly what it sounds like. It is a traveling show that has a vampire, and I'm really excited about it. And it takes place in the 60s, and it sounds like a possible kind of nearly like Carnival-esque scenario. I'm not sure, but I'm so intrigued because I really want to read a Richard Lehman story that includes vampires. Then I got Flesh, and as far as I understand, is about this substance, this kind of flesh that is putrefying and gross, and if it touches you, if it gets you infected, then, you know, there's really horrible things that are going to happen to you. So this sounds like a possible virus scenario. I'm not really sure, but I'm excited. I'm excited about it. It looks kind of like zombie-esque on the cover. But yeah, another one that I didn't have and I needed in my collection. And the last one is this chunker here, Quake, big chunky boy. And this one is a book that tells the story about obviously a quake that hit, and the buildings came tumbling down. So it follows the story of Stanley and Sheila. So Stanley is a creeper, he's a stalker, and he was watching Sheila through her window, and he probably is obsessed with her, I can already tell, because this is what Richard Lehman does. And basically when the quake happens, she gets trapped and her family is somewhere else and she is trapped and needs to be rescued. But who's gonna get to her first? Stanley, the creeper, or her family? We'll have to find out by reading this big of a chunker. My next purchase is from an author that I wanted to read more of, and also this cover just got me and I had to get it, and that is The Unloved by John Sowell. This is about an old mansion that used to be a plantation back in the day, and it is in a secluded island. Now Kevin returns to the mansion to visit her mother after I think not seeing her for around 20 years. So he goes there with his family, wife, kids and stuff. He doesn't know what his mom wants. He doesn't know if it's like because she's dying or what's going on. So we'll have to figure it out. But I just really wanted to read something else by John Sowell. I really enjoyed Suffer the Children, and that is I think everything I've read by him so far. So I decided to pick this one up. Also, like I said, the cover, I just could not resist. And the last book that I have to show you is one that I am so excited that I found, because this edition is everything. Is exactly the type of edition that I want to get when I buy used books. And in this case we have Spellbound by Christopher Pike, and this is the type of editions that I love to get from Christopher Pike, the older editions. So I was so glad when they sent me this one. And this is about a town in which Karen, one of the girls, appeared dead, was found dead at the mountain stream, and the boyfriend was kind of blamed for her death, but nothing ever came of that. So now he has a new girlfriend, and together with other kids from town, they go and revisit the place where she was found dead. So what would they find there? We don't know. We don't know. As always, we have to read the book to figure it out. But I want to read more Christopher Pike. I want to keep collecting his books, and I'm extremely happy that they sent me this edition, because like I said, these are the type of editions that I want to get. Alright guys, so that was everything. I feel like I've been talking here for so long, showing you all the books that I bought because I have no self-control. So anyways, I hope that you enjoyed this book haul. Let me know down below what you thought about the books that I got, and what is the last book that you purchased for yourself to treat your shelf. Let me know in the comments down below. I hope that you enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys as always in our next coffee time. Bye!